Please speak your language to your children. It's not going to disturb their education. It's not going to make them inferior. Let us be proud of who we are. We need to be able to develop our language to the point that we can write sciences in it, we can think in it, we can be able to produce in it. Because if you look at all these world powers, everybody is doing everything in their language, even Arab countries, Chinese country, any country you look at, So we are not the only people that were colonized. So it is just we are just being hung up and lazy and just wanting to consume. We don't want to put in the work that is needed. People, how you are doing? Good day to you all, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Blessing, and this is my Blessed YouTube channel. I do hope that you subscribe to my channel before you leave today. And to all of you already subscribed, thank you so much. Oh, please help me, guys. I want to make the 1,000 subscribers mark, so please really help me to make the subscriptions, and I will beat this mark. I really appreciate you for that. So I thank all of you who already subscribed to my channel. God bless you all. Today I just want to talk about Igbo language and why it is good that we not lose this language. It's a beautiful language. I don't know why it happened that the elites of the time made it look inferior. And so if you are only speaking Igbo, you are looked down upon. If you are only speaking Igbo, it will be like you have not gone to school. If you have Igbo accent when you are talking, you people are looking down on you and saying, oh, uneducated person, look at the Igbo accent, and it's only among the Igbos that you see this inferiority complex. You see this inferiority complex with linguistics. You see it in everything. Like, everybody wants to feel superior just because they don't speak their own mother tongue. So I don't know how this thing came to be, but I know that when people came back from America, or even America is even too far. America, no. When people came back to the village from Lagos, Aba, hey, you come and hear English, I'm come and going, we'll just be looking at them. And so when we spoke Igbo, it was like, I don't speak Igbo, they don't speak Igbo. So it was a thing of pride that your children were not speaking Igbo. And of course, who doesn't want to belong? So we started to practice the English in our mind and begin to join our fellow abroadians. Oh my God, people who were coming from around, though, not that they even went far, So, but what struck me one time, my uncle came back from the US, and we were just practicing how we were going to talk with him, and we were sitting down in the evening in the family house, and he was talking to us and he was speaking Igbo, and everybody was like, okay, maybe he's gonna, we were really looking forward to hear his American accent, but he was just speaking Igbo to us, like he was speaking just our dialect, just like he never left. So that was really interesting for me. But anyways, everybody was determined to speak English, and so I don't know how the elites made it to become the norm, and so it's carried on even in our day. You see young parents who don't want to teach their children English. You see couples talking to each other, but when they talk to their child, they say something in English. But I'm going to show you a simple video that I have made about languages in Europe. Watch. So to make my points clearer, I just want to show you this brief map of Europe. I'm going to use Google to avoid copyright issues. So what I just want to show you people is, you can see this place. This is Europe, and you can see these countries that they are so close to each other. You just look at the proximity. There is not, it's almost like different states, like they are not so far from each other, but still when you come to Germany, like here, I'm based here in Germany, everything is done in German. If you come, you begin to learn German. They have different levels, and they ratified it across Europe. So whenever you are in any part of Europe, you are going to learn their language. If you are in France, you speak French. It's only in England here, United Kingdom and Ireland, Republic of Ireland, that you get to see anybody speaking English, and like where the English is the main lingua franca. All across Europe here, there is none of them that is speaking any other language other than their own. So here in France, they speak French. Only in Belgium and here, Switzerland, that you will see that they have more than one official language, and this is because the ethnic people that make up the countries came from the Netherlands and France. So here you get to see French and Dutch as the major languages, and they are taught these two languages in school. The same thing is happening here in Switzerland because they have ethnic Germans, ethnic French, ethnic Italians here, and so you see people from this country, they have three official languages and they teach these official languages in the schools and everybody understands it. But once you leave all this area, you come to any of this country, Italian, everybody know they speak, they speak Italian language, they speak their language. There is no other person that abandons their language other than Africans. Look at here, you have Portugal, you have Spain, and you have this Italy. And I've even learned that these three languages can be considered as dialects in African terms because they are mutually intelligible. You can actually understand Spanish if you speak Portuguese and vice versa. And even people who understand Italian language, when someone is talking in Portuguese or in Spanish, they can understand. At least you wouldn't be able to sell them. So what am I trying to say? Look at how close all these countries are, but still, anywhere, once you cross any border here, you speak their own language. And you can see that they have conquered the whole world, but they maintained their indigenous languages. And it's not just that they are speaking it, they are writing it, they are learning in it, they are doing science in it, they are driving with it, they are singing with it. Every other daily activities, everything is done in it. They write in it, they develop. If anything is coming up new, they are integrating it. There is a massive interest in purist language. They don't want you to mix English with any. No. It's very offensive for them, especially here in Germany. If you are speaking in German and you're adding English, it's not really accepted. So they believe their language is perfect and is world class, and they maintain it. So I think we can do this because we can say all these things and we don't have anything to show the points we are trying to make. So yeah, I'm trying to make this point so that we can see that the people who colonized us, the colonial masters, they went around the world, they conquered the whole world, but they still maintained their languages and they took it with them when they left. You can see the Spanish people when they left Spain and went over to South America, everybody there speak Spanish. The same thing with English. They conquered the world, they took it across. We speak English now. The same thing with French, the same thing, and they didn't lose their indigenous language. And we, the Igbos, we have not even done anything, and we are already losing our own languages. I think we should call ourselves to order. So as you can see, it's only in England and Ireland that they are speaking English. Every other place, they mind their language, they develop it, they write in it, they teach in it, they sing in it. Like, it's just part of them. So we should be able to have this pride in our own language. I don't know why it's difficult for Igbo people to use the Igbo language. And I really have a lot of respect for Yoruba people because Yoruba people have conserved their language and they speak it so much. I love the way the Yoruba people, when they speak it, the melody, and it doesn't matter the level of their education. When they are speaking it, you just see that flow. It's like when you look at even like all this one we are saying, we are speaking English. If you see Americans and British people speaking English, it will be like they are singing, like it's coming from within them, like they are not even thinking of what they are saying. They will just be going. But we are just doing and undermining ourselves if we think that we are speaking English. All this that we are speaking, we never start to. You learned it as a foreign language. It's not your own. It's not your mother tongue. Like, even you can see that Nigerians flow very much more in pidgin English because it's like something of their own creation. So I think that there's nothing wrong with speaking English. You can see what happened to Genevieve and her lion. What is the name of this movie now? Lion. Something with lion. Obiago, lion heart, lion heart. So yeah, you can see what happened to her. She submitted it for a category that is supposed to be for indigenous language or something like that, but it was kicked out because the 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 inclusion of the native language was very minimal, and her excuse was like, it's not our fault that we were colonized by the English, and so this is how we talk in Nigeria. But you can see that it's only Igbo people that are making all these kind of excuses. The interesting thing to note is that it was even Igbo people that started this Nigerian Nollywood video making the way we know it today. It's not like they were not making drama and plays. There were always drama and plays, like, those of us that partly went to Yoruba land, they had all this Fadeyi Oloro, they had all these plays, but it was not like a movie. So living in bondage was done in Igbo language, so I would say that it's the beginning of Nollywood as we know it today. It was done in Igbo language, but we didn't see a continuation of that they continued doing it in Igbo language and translating it, which is what you would expect. But they just left it like that and started speaking English and doing English movies. And the Yorubas, on the other hand, went straight and started doing Yoruba movies. So they even have their own artists who became celebrities just because they were participating in these Yoruba movies. And even the Hausas, they didn't even mind the Nollywood or whatever. They just went straight ahead and made their own Kannywood. So this is so contradictory to the Igbo and what they want, because on the one hand, the Igbo say they want to leave Nigeria and they want to leave Nigeria by all means, but they are the only ones who are doing things because of Nigeria. Like, for example, you are doing Nollywood. Instead of you to be promoting Igbo language, do Nollywood and be speaking Igbo and translating it in English, just like the Yorubas have done. But what do we see? We see them doing like, it's just recently that they are trying, but when you see them speaking Igbo, even it doesn't flow. It's like they are like, like when you are forcing somebody to talk and then they will mix it in with English. And by the way, I noticed that because I love to watch Yoruba movies and I love to see them talk, and I love the mimicry, the way they do their body, the melody of the language. And I see that recently that the same thing that happens with Igbo speaking actresses and actors has started happening with Yoruba movies. They mix a lot of English and it's losing its flair for me. Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with speaking your language. In fact, it defines you. And all these things we are doing, we think is posh, you are sophisticated just because you don't speak your own language. The time will come when they are going to ask your children, so what language do you speak? They'll say English. Oh, so we taught you English. That means you couldn't talk before. You didn't have any language. We have to teach you how to talk before you are able to talk. And then you will be saying, oh, my forefathers used to speak, they said the language was it, but you can't speak it, so there is no proof. So we really need to be careful. We don't know this part that we are trending. I see my relatives in Imo State who even live in Owerri, and they are talking to their children in English, and I say, I don't understand it. How do you live in Imo State? You live in Owerri, your children are speaking English, they don't speak Igbo. Like, and I've seen I saw a girl here on YouTube, and she made some assertion that she grew up in her village, but she didn't speak Igbo. Like, she don't speak Igbo because her parents didn't allow her to mix with people, and so she doesn't speak Igbo. Like, how is that possible? Because when you are in the village, for God's sake, is it only your parents that will be talking to you? You are in the midst of Igbo people, everybody is speaking Igbo. So why will you not hear Igbo just because your parents, like we were taken out of Igbo land and taken to Yoruba land, we even pick up the language, like me, that I went to school at the University of Akure, Federal University of Technology, Akure. They spoke so much of that language, and you just have to filter into your ears. And so if you see people who were born in the north, in other part of the country, their parents never spoke that language to them. They picked it up. So I think that we Igbo are doing ourselves a disservice. And the worst is now that everybody wants to be Hebrew. Like this claim to be the real Hebrew, the real one that God, like these ones that are saying that they are Jews, they are not the Jewish people. We are and then what? Then what? what? So what is going to happen to the language that you know, that your God has bequeathed you? This is the one that you were born with. Why can't we maintain it? Like, why can't we just build anything of our own? Why must we be consumers, even to the point of the language that we speak? I could speak Igbo language in this video, but I just wanted to make a point. So somebody may say, you didn't speak Igbo in this video, so you are contradicting yourself, you are a hypocrite. I know, but I'm trying to pass a message, and I could speak Igbo, and it's not a problem for me to speak Igbo. And I actually can speak Igbo without adding any English in it, And by the way, I learned Igbo first because I went to primary school in Igbo land. I went to secondary school in Igbo land. So it was only when I went to the university that I have to leave Igbo land. So I speak Igbo language. It's part of me. And it has not been a hindrance to me to learn other language. By the way, I speak English as much as you can hear me speak, and I also speak German language, and I've also been able to pick up some of Yoruba language, although I'm losing it because I don't speak it, but I believe you couldn't just sell me in Yoruba language. And by listening to them continuously in the movies, and so I still kind of follow what they say, and whatever it is that is going on. Yeah, so I think that Africans, Nigerians, and especially ndị Igbo, ka anyị sụwa na asụsụ Igbo, biko nọ asụsụ Igbo dị mma, asụsụ Igbo ga-adị, asụsụ Igbo awụ ihe ga na-eme unu ihere, asụsụ Igbo wụ nke anyị, ọwụ nke ndị ọzọ, ịma ọwụ ihe ị ga-eji na-eme ihere, ma ọwụkwanụ ihe ị ga na-eji na-apali onwe gị elu na n'aha asụ Igbo ya wụrụ gị ihe iji eme ọnụ. Asụsụ Igbo biko nọ unu jishike mee ka ọ dịrị ka ọ hapụ ịla. So yeah, so I hope that young parents will learn from the mistakes that the elites of the past have made and help us to work on this language. We need to be able to develop our language to the point that we can write sciences in it, we can think in it, we can be able to produce in it. Because if you look at all these world powers, everybody is doing everything in their language, even Arab countries, Chinese country, any country you look at, So we are not the only people that were colonized. So it is just, we are just being hung up and lazy and just wanting to consume. We don't want to put in the work that is needed. So our linguists need to come out and find terminologies for things as they evolve. We need to, do the movies in Igbo language, and we have to create an industry of translators and transcribers who will be at deck doing all these things. It will be part of employment and job creation too. So yeah, language is important, and if the Europeans can conquer the whole world and still keep their own indigenous languages, I don't know, we don't have any excuse, because they have left us for the past 50 years and we have our own affairs. Well, before I leave, I want to say thank you to the governor of Imo State. I've learned that he has introduced Igbo language in all the schools, primary and secondary schools, which is how it used to be before when I was in the school. So yeah, I want to give him that kudos. He has done a good job. So I hope that you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Please speak your language to your children. It's not going to disturb their education. It's not going to make them inferior. Let us be proud of who we are. Let us be proud of our languages. Let us be proud of the heritage that our ancestors has bequeathed us. And that is only what will make us to be happy with ourselves. Thank you so much. And please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye-bye.